So you know the ones where you're listening to a song that you really like and you're like, that's my tune.
That's my tune.
Hello. I'm Jojo B and this is That's My Tune, the podcast providing song reviews and interviews. I had a nice couple of weeks off and I'm glad to be back. Hope you didn't miss me too much. Today I'm having a chat with the lovely Alba, who's from Spain. I will be discussing her song, I Need a Holiday, and a lot more. So stay tuned after this and I'll be back. And for those listening on YouTube, the link of her song is in the description box, so you won't be missing out. So everybody, I'd like to introduce you to Alba. Yay!
Hi, everybody.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. What about you?
Yeah, I'm good, I'm really, really good. I'm hearing an accent, so please tell me where you're from.
Where do you think I'm from? I always love to play this game because I have such a weird accent, I think.
I think either Spain or Italy.
Good one. It's Spain.
Hey!
You got it.
Yay.
But I've been told like all kinds of things. I've been told I sound German.
Wow.
That I sound French. I sound, all sorts of, accents. So, but yeah, I'm Spanish. I'm originally from the Canary Islands, but I lived most of my life in Madrid before moving to London.
Wow. Okay. So how long have you lived in London for?
5 years now.
Okay. All right. So what made you decide to move to London?
It was actually always in my plans to come and live here because most of my, musical inspirations and artists that I always loved are from London or the UK in general. And I just think London is such a great place to be if you're a musician. So it was always on my plan. It was a matter of when and not, if.
Yeah. Okay, that's amazing. So tell me, what's the music scene like in Spain? Like, I'd like to know more about it.
Well, it's quite different probably in terms of the genres that you would find. So first of all, you will see that most of the music in Spain is obviously sung in Spanish.
Right.
And there's quite a bit of everything, pop, rock, and then obviously you also have the flamenco and more like southern kind of folk music. So there's a bit of a mix, but I've always loved rock and soul, neo soul, R&B.
Right.
And so that was more kind of the music that was made in the UK and America.
Right.
So that was kind of what I grew up listening to. But there's obviously great music as well made in Spain, like amazing guitarists like Paco de Lucia, who are like a reference in the whole world. So yeah, definitely worth checking out what's going on.
So living in Spain, how were you able to connect with the music that was going on in the UK?
Well, I have to blame my parents probably because
bad parents, how dare you?
Rather than blame, maybe thank. The best word.
Thank you, mom and dad.
They just love, all the music from the 60s and 70s, like, I don't know, Eric Clapton, Rolling Stones, the Beatles, and then also a lot of the Motown music, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles. Everything soul related. So Aretha Franklin, I don't know, there's Tina Turner.
Right.
So, actually, the first gig I've ever went to was B.B. King, famous blues guitarist.
Yeah.
People might not know him. Please go check out his music. Amazing. And I was only 8 years old. So I don't think that's the kind of music you would normally listen to as an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
So now you see what I mean. And when I was 10, my second gig that I ever went to see was Eric Clapton.
Nice.
So
you had some really cool parents.
I know, right?
That is so dope. So what made you want to become a musician yourself?
Well, I think it was first all the, the good music that we listened to at home, and then the fact that basically they took me to music lessons when I think I was 4 years old.
Okay.
We started with piano lessons, and then at 7 I picked up the Spanish guitar first.
Ooh.
And when I was 10 I moved into electric guitar.
Okay.
So, and I think that was when I really knew that I just loved it and I wanted to do it for the rest of my life. I started writing as well my own tunes when I was 14.
Okay.
I mean, there were some attempts before, but I wouldn't count them as as tunes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think once you, as a musician, you write, if you like writing and you perform your own music in front of an audience, and there's nothing like it. So yeah, it was a mix of, I don't know, just my upbringing and being exposed to music early on and instruments. I think it's key, because when you're a kid, you don't know what what you like, or so I think it's good that you're given the opportunity to experience music and try different instruments. Yeah,
I definitely agree. I agree. So your song "I Need a Holiday," what inspired you to write that?
I just love to hear people say the title. Well, it was lockdown inspired. It was that time, I think in the second or third lockdown, I don't even remember now, that it just felt that it was going on forever. And I think many people probably felt like I felt, especially if you live in a small flat in London.
Yeah.
It just feels like, the rooms are getting closer. It can get like very stressful.
Yeah.
So I think one of the ways I found that worked for me is listening to music and meditation. So the song is about needing to escape in a figurative sense, and also quite literally as well. And sometimes it can be that, you just need a holiday and just step outside and disconnect. But also sometimes meditation can help you, like, taking a holiday from yourself, because you can get in this kind of spirals of thoughts, and you can like just constantly go through things, and it can get in a negative spiral. So I think that's what it's about. It's about sometimes you just need a break from yourself, and that's what the song is basically playing with that double sense. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So prior to "I Need a Holiday," like, what other songs have you released? Any other songs before then?
I do actually. That's kept me busy during the past year, and the pandemic. I've been releasing, I think, two or three more singles. Before "I Need a Holiday" came "Child of a Stars," which I encourage people to have a listen on Spotify or YouTube. And last year I released "Sister," which is a song I dedicated to my sister. And another tune which actually came out right when the pandemic began, which is called "Mass Extinction." I was laughing when it came out, because I had written it like the year prior, when no one knew this was going to happen. But then it came out on February, and then we had lockdown from March. It's actually about climate change, and it's not really about the pandemic, but it was just funny that the title and the timing.
That's really something. So do you have only just one sister, or do you have other siblings as well?
Just one sister. Small family.
Okay, cool. So how does she take to you being a musician? Like, oh, my sister, she's a musician. Like, does she like it?
I hope she does. She plays sax and piano herself, so
nice.
She's into music as well. And actually we even had some collaborations when I was, starting out my YouTube channel and like uploading covers. So there's at least one that I have with her on my YouTube channel. It's a Icy Fire cover of Ed Sheeran's song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So like, do you sometimes miss Spain?
Of course you do. I mean, especially I think I'm always been about the people, right? I've always had this in my mind that home is where your loved ones are. It's not really tied to a physical place. It's more about, whenever the people you care are, that's where your home is.
Yeah.
I know that some people think differently, because I know, some people are really attached to their homeland and but being a traveler myself and kind of a nomad, for me, it's about finding the time to be with your loved ones wherever they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely, it's not that far away. You can get to Spain in a couple of hours. So
yeah, that's true. Like that's when you can actually travel, like with all this up and down, down.
It's just a mess. I hope we'll get some, sense of clarity in the coming months.
I agree. I definitely agree. So are there any new projects that are going to come out soon?
Well, I'm always working on new tracks, and especially having my own little home studio where I can produce my tracks.
Nice.
There's always something that I'm working on. And I have, I think releasing a single every few months has been something that works nicely for me, because then you keep new material coming out and people are interested to listen what comes next, especially whilst we all wait for live music to come back. So it's what I've been focusing on mostly.
Okay, so one other question. So have you performed live both in Spain and in London, and if you've done both, what's the difference been like?
I have. So the answer is yes. And actually, before I started my solo project, I had, like, when I was a teenager, teenager years, I had a band called Sons of Rock in Spain. It was more rock and roll in those days. So we toured all over Spain. We actually did a few big festivals, like Rock in Rio, Madrid. I would highlight that one.
Okay.
Because there were like Amy Winehouse, Jamiroquai on the Billboard. So massive festival.
Wow.
And there were others like with thousands of attendees. So pretty huge concerts that I made. I remember I wasn't even the legal age to attend some of the festivals when I played. I think I was 17 when I played Rock in Rio.
Okay.
And I think it's a different experience. One of the things I really loved the most when the first time I played in the UK is the fact, I think the language barrier is a thing, especially for someone who writes in English, such as myself. And I really loved when I first came here and I sang my songs, and people would come to me after the show and say, I really like your songs. I really enjoy the lyrics. I said, oh my God, that's so amazing. Because, usually if you sing in English in Spain, not everyone is fluent. So so it was an eye-opening. And also something I really loved is that because usually, the new artists, you would like to play covers as well. If you don't know. And people would also come back and say after the show and say, I actually love your originals more than the covers. And I think that's the best thing someone can tell
that's a
you.
Lovely compliment. Yeah, I definitely agree. I've definitely well, that is really cool. Oh, yay.
I was so chuffed.
Wow. So where can we find you on social media?
It's very easy to find me. At Music by Alba in all my socials. So that's Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. I don't have TikTok for now, but I'm considering.
Yeah, everybody's jumping on TikTok these days.
It's just too much time on socials. It's just
it is
crazy.
It is. It's too time consuming. I can't do it.
I fully agree. I mean, you need to put a limit to it. Otherwise, you spend all your day on socials.
Yep, exactly. Well, Alba, it's been wonderful speaking with you.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Have a good rest of the day.
You too.
All right. Bye. Thank you, Alba, for your time. It was great chatting with you. And that's a wrap with this episode. As usual, if you'd like to know more information about the podcast, go on linktr.ee/TMT_podcast. You'll find Spotify, YouTube, and all the social media. If you'd like to email, it's that'smytunepodcast@gmail.com. Until then, have a great day, have a great rest of the week, and I'll be back next Tuesday with more content for you to enjoy. Bye.